So I watched the Grand Tour last night, which is arguably the world's most popular TV program. It was the last episode featuring James May, Richard Hammond, and of course Jeremy Clarkson on their final special trip. And in this trip, they went across Botswana in 3 fabulous cars. We watched a phenomenal journey of 3 men enjoying their machines and the beauty of this glorious planet. But within that show, I noticed a few things that for me were God talking through this show. And that may sound like something crazy to people that don't see numbers, don't pick up messages from God, but this is what I saw, and it's all very good. It's very good news for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. Firstly, the number 17 was used very clearly in this episode because it was 17 years since their last trip there. I believe that was the reference. 17, of course, relates to the letter Q because it's the 17th letter of the alphabet. Myself and thousands of people that I know through social media and people that I know personally have been seeing and hearing the number 17 for a very long time. So that's a very good confirmation for me that we're on the right track, because this will be going into the subconscious of tens and hundreds of millions of people. The second thing that was interesting is that Jeremy Clarkson actually said, which was wonderful to hear in a show with such massive viewership, he used the term, because EVs are shit. Which was great, because I've seen interviews with Clarkson in the past where he said, look, I know that we've got to go electric and blah, 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 because of the pressures from the globalist, environmentalist nonsense. But as we go along, it's becoming more and more obvious that EVs are not only shit, they're part of an agenda to enslave the human race and to take the joy out of life. EVs are, I think he said they were nothing more than washing machines, appendices. It was brilliant anyway that he said that on such a big show. Thank you, Jeremy, for doing that. It's so important. We have to get away from this EV nonsense. And I think we are getting away from the EV nonsense, thanks to people like Jeff Buys Cars as well. And the third thing that I thought was interesting is that I think when they got to Zimbabwe, they were showing the currency. The currency there, or it might have been Botswana, but in where they were in Africa, it was like $1 trillion notes, $1 billion notes. They were like, well, I've got 15 trillion, 2 billion, and 400 million to buy this car with, and that was really highlighting the craziness of currency worldwide, because Africa has been, in particular, has been raped by the globalists, the people that control the central banks, the Rothschilds, for a very, very, very long time. And a lot of people don't realize that people living there are actually dealing with $1 trillion notes. Why is that important? Well, because the solution to the immigration problem in the world, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with immigration, I'm talking about the forced immigration of illegal immigrants to replace cultures that's going on across the globe, is the revaluation of currency. When every currency is on an equitable standing, when $1 equals 1 zim, £1 equals 1 euro. When that happens, and when those currencies are gold-backed, it's the end of world poverty, it's the end of inequity, it's the end of illegal immigration, because everybody will want to go home. So I thought it was marvellous that this was highlighted in such a high-profile show. And if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments.